In the vast tapestry of the Divine Dao, where ambition burns brighter than the stars and power is forged through blood and will, the legend continues to unfold. Previously, the winds of fate carried Ling Han ever deeper into peril, where enemies lurk behind veils of strength and schemes intertwine like shadowed threads. The path of alchemy and martial mastery has never been more treacherous, and each step forward demands a price that few could bear. Now, Alchemy Emperor of the Divine Dao Chapter 1409, Chapter 1410. The storm gathers once more. Hidden forces begin to stir, alliances tremble, and the boundary between victory and annihilation grows ever thinner. What secrets lie ahead? What trials will test the limits of Ling Han's resolve? Steel your hearts and steady your breath, for the next chapter of this martial legend is about to begin. In the vast expanse of the cosmos, where three majestic empires held sway over countless worlds, the borders between their territories were fraught with tension. Clashes were common, born of pride and ambition, yet most skirmishes were small, fought by cultivators far below the immortal realm. But now, the air itself seemed to quake with a new and terrible reckoning. This time, the conflict was not ordinary. It was a storm poised to engulf the entire chaotic star's majestic empire. Two majestic empires, each led by a heavenly body tier sovereign, surged into the lands of the chaotic star's majestic empire with unstoppable force. Within merely 3 days, vast swaths of territory had fallen beneath their banners. Yet their march did not pause. The drums of conquest beat ever onward toward the imperial capital. The very heavens seemed to witness their intent. A swift and merciless strike to crush the chaotic star's majestic empire in one decisive breath, restoring the balance of power to the familiar duality of the joint peace planet. This moment was both perilous and opportune. Empress Luan Xing and the Nine Kings remained secluded in their cultivation, their powers hidden from the world. The empire's defenders had thinned to the left and right ministers, 6 remaining generals, and Qishui, each a pillar against the tide. The late timing of the assault revealed the intruders' unease. Were the Empress and 9 Kings truly in seclusion, or merely biding their time? Decades of patience had finally given way to action. The invading emperors resolved that conquest must be total. Should the chaotic star's majestic empire fall entirely, Empress Luan Xing would emerge from her retreat powerless to marshal the nation's might. Conversely, for the Eternity Sky Emperor and Jade Drop Emperor, each victory expanded their dominion, transforming intruders into sovereigns. Ling Han, ever vigilant, ordered his forces to prepare, ready to confront the encroaching armies. But only 3 days into their mobilization, grim tidings reached him. The invaders had escalated their campaign. No longer did a single heavenly body tier lead a solitary army. 10 armies, each guided by a heavenly body tier elite, now swept across the land. Rumor whispered that even the 2 emperors themselves had taken the field. The enormity of the threat made Ling Han reconsider the path of conventional warfare. The great Ling Empire's forces, formidable in their own right, were mere sparks against a blazing inferno. Where once a single enemy army might have been vanquished with a strike against its general, now the combined might of 2 emperors, each a 4-star genius at the pinnacle of the heavenly body tier, rendered conventional strategy folly. Ling Han's resolve shifted. No longer would he aim to repel the invaders outright. His mission became singular, the protection of Empress Luan Xing. He would bring her to the sanctuary of the Black Tower, where her cultivation could reach its apex. Only when she emerged, her strength unrivaled, would the balance of power swing back, and even the combined might of the 2 emperors could not hope to subdue her. With counsel from the heavenly Phoenix Divine Maiden and the others, Ling Han concluded that their presence in the field was unnecessary. They would guard the Great Ling Empire. He alone would undertake the perilous mission. Though reluctant, his companions acquiesced. The task required stealth, not numbers, and there was little they could offer beyond watchful vigilance. Ling Han's speed was divine, as he traversed the ever-changing landscapes of the chaotic star's majestic empire. News reached him of the enemy's relentless advance. Nearly half the empire had already succumbed within days. The left and right ministers, alongside the 6 generals, had wisely withdrawn to the imperial capital, concentrating their forces for the inevitable siege. Though prudent, Their retreat accelerated the empire's territorial loss. Upon reaching the imperial capital, Ling Han called out to the towering city walls, his voice carrying the weight of determination. Within moments, four heavenly body tier elites appeared atop the ramparts: Qushui, the left and right ministers, and Sha Jing. The tension was palpable, the city trembling under the shadow of the approaching armies. Sha Jing's voice, laced with doubt, cut through the air. The enemy may be near. What if you are a spy for them? If we open the formation, the city could fall from within. Ling Han's heart surged with frustration. How could he explain the bond he shared with the Empress, a secret entwined with the ancient power of the Nine Snake Tribe? Yet he understood Sha Jing's caution. At this moment, the fate of the Empire rested upon unerring vigilance. Qushui's gaze held him in scrutiny, measuring both his power and intent. Ling Han, have you come to aid us? She asked. With the elites guarding the city, we can hold the imperial capital. You may scout, and your work will be honored when Her Majesty emerges from seclusion. A bitter laugh escaped Ling Han. Even as he sought to save the woman he loved, his intentions were questioned. The city's formation, controlled by 9 heavenly body tier elites, promised unyielding defense. Ling Han knew that forcing his way inside could prove disastrous, particularly should the invading emperors arrive as he breached the gates. Reluctantly, he took his place upon a distant mountain, eyes fixed on the horizon, ready to act the moment the armies approached the walls. Days passed, the air thick with anticipation. Then, like a storm emerging from the void, the banners of the 2 majestic empires appeared upon the horizon, a tide of conquest vast and unrelenting. Every foot of land had fallen except the imperial capital, where defenders braced for annihilation. The totem above the city flickered, a dim echo of the empire's former glory. Adorned in golden armor, the Eternity Sky Emperor's presence radiated unbridled might. His severed arm had regrown, a testament to his formidable cultivation. With a voice that rolled across the plains like thunder, he proclaimed, "Those who submit shall live. Those who resist shall perish. Open the city gates, or you shall fall with this fortress." In that moment, the stage was set for a battle that would shake the heavens, where the fates of emperors, generals, and a solitary hero intertwined, and the destiny of an entire empire hung in the balance. Ling Han's heart, burning with loyalty and love, steeled itself for the trials to come. As the first tremors of the siege began to quake through the imperial capital, in the looming shadow of the imperial capital, the earth seemed to tremble as the Jade-Drop Emperor emerged from the vanguard of his army. His presence alone radiated a might so overwhelming that even the sturdiest hearts faltered. Though the citizens were shielded by the vast protective formation of their city, fear gripped them like a cold blade. And even the heavenly body tier elites stationed upon the walls could not suppress the tremors that ran through their limbs. These were no ordinary warriors. They were paragons of cultivation, 2 supreme rulers whose words shaped destiny and whose power bent the heavens themselves. "Open the city gates at once," the Jade-Drop Emperor thundered, his voice cascading over the walls like a mountain avalanche. Silence answered his command, the 9 heavenly body tier defenders unmoving, statues carved from willpower and defiance. "You dare refuse?" The Eternity Sky Emperor's voice cut through the air, laden with mockery, as he swept his hand in a grand gesture. "Attack!" His command was an edict of annihilation, and the Jade-Drop Emperor's order mirrored it, unleashing a synchronized orchestration of devastation. From the horizon, 10 colossal catapults were rolled forward, each a monolith of war, towering 300 meters in both length and height. Crafted with meticulous care, every strike was embedded with runic formations, a destructive potential that made even seasoned Sun-Moon tier cultivators shudder. These war machines were beasts of stone and steel, requiring the strength of a Sun-Moon tier hand to command, for no ordinary mortal could bear their crushing weight. Each catapult loomed like a sleeping titan, loaded with spiked, godly metal projectiles 30 meters in radius, capable of eradicating any unfortunate cultivator with a single blow. Yet precision was their foe, and loading them demanded patience measured in hours. They were instruments of siege, designed to crush cities, not individuals. A city could not flee. It was the perfect mark. Boom! 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 The first volley shattered the air, projectiles smashing into the city's formation. Shocks reverberated through the protective barrier, forcing the defenders to pour their origin power into it. Stabilizing the trembling walls, from surrounding lands, Sun Moon tier cultivators converged upon the capital, their numbers swelling into tens of thousands, lending their strength to the formation in synchronized harmony. Battalions of 1,000 each rotated in endless cycles, keeping the lifeblood of the protective grid flowing. For now, the city remained intact. But the assault was relentless. Volley after volley, the catapults rained terror, and wave upon wave of soldiers surged forward. The enemy's strategy was brutal in its simplicity. Overwhelm the defenses with sheer power. Formations and spells might be mighty, but force, unbridled and inexorable, could shatter even the strongest of walls. The defenders answered in kind, unleashing rain after rain of arrows and bolts, cutting swathes through the charging host. The art of defense was a war of attrition, and even the mightiest of city walls were tested to their limits. From a distant mountaintop, Ling Han observed the unfolding tempest. His eyes swept the horizon, cataloging the mass of elites arrayed against the imperial capital. Beyond the Jade Drop and Eternity Sky Emperors, 3 other consummate heavenly-bodied tier paragons hovered like blazing suns over the battlefield. Ling Han's breath caught at the sheer scale of it. Can the city hold? How long before it falls? He murmured, pondering the odds. These 2 majestic empires had unleashed all their might, certain of victory. Yet the question remained, how long before the city succumbed? Victory depended on timing. For the chaotic stars, majestic empire's hope rested upon Empress Luan Xing's return from seclusion. Yet the heavens had not set a date. The defenders fought against a shadowy, relentless countdown. Boom. The catapults roared again, each explosion shaking the city as day bled into night. The enemies poured their forces endlessly, uncaring of casualties, determined to claim the city. By the 3rd day, even the heavenly body tier elites had joined the fray, standing proud in the air, calling down the energies of the celestial spheres to hammer the city with meteoric fury. Flaming rocks streaked across the sky, turning night into a burning dawn. The citizens of Point Star City were frozen with terror, some collapsing in fear, their will crumbling beneath the celestial bombardment. Even the seasoned Kichu Shui and her compatriots sweat coldly under the weight of impending doom. The city's formation quivered under the unrelenting onslaught. 9 heavenly body tier defenders rose, throwing the cultivators sustaining the formation aside, their own presence pouring endless power into the grid. Yet despite their might, they were dwarfed by the enemy's overwhelming numbers. Nearly 100 heavenly body tier elites rotated tirelessly among the attackers. Our 9 defenders could only hold in shifts, each one lending a day of life to the protective weave, supported by Sun Moon tier disciples. Stability was maintained, but precariously. Ling Han exhaled, a thread of relief coiling through him. For 5 days, hope endured. Then, like a cruel trick of fate, the formation vanished. Not shattered, not obliterated. It simply ceased to exist. Whispers of disbelief swept through the city, fear consuming every heart. What has happened? Who would dare? Chaos erupted, a storm of terror and confusion. Without the protective formation, the imperial capital was defenseless against the 2 majestic empires' unyielding onslaught. The Eternity Sky Emperor laughed, a sound of cruel triumph, drawing his sword and pointing it toward the city. Attack! Seize this city, he bellowed, and the army surged forward, unstoppable and merciless. Ling Han's brows drew into a tight knot. The sudden collapse of the formation defied logic, yet hesitation was a luxury he could not afford. With decisive resolve, he leapt from the mountain, his figure a streak of shadow, racing toward Point Star City, ready to confront the fury descending upon the heart of the Empire.